Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to Harmony Co-Creating Tomorrow, the Global Education and Leadership Foundation's flagship event. Today, we gather to celebrate leadership, values, creativity, and the incredible potential of young change makers. Thank you all for being here bright and early for a day filled with inspiration, collaboration, and harmony. Let's begin this beautiful morning and step into a space of creativity, purpose, and shared vision for a better tomorrow. To begin with, I invite someone whose vision and leadership continue to guide and strengthen the TGELF mission, Mrs. Dinu Raheja, Executive Director of TGELF, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. And it's wonderful to have not only luminaries and great achievers here in the room, but also budding achievers and young people from all over the country. I think Harmony is so appropriate as a title because we have children across the length and width of our country here today, all the way from Srinagar to Chennai, from west as far as Jaipur to east. We are very sorry that our team from Calcutta, which was supposed to be here and would have really marked the east and west points of the country, for us. But, looking at the way the Indigo flight situation has been, that has been a spoiler for our young students coming all the way from Calcutta as well. But we are delighted to have all of y'all here. And the idea of Harmony is not just for y'all to showcase your talent, your leadership. We also want to honor and recognize the hard work and effort that you have been putting in through the past year in these projects. But more than that, it's an opportunity to bond, to network, to make friends with young people from all over the country, as well as to share and learn from each other as well. There is learning in the projects that you are doing, but I think there is far more learning when you sit across the table and talk to each other, understand each other, and motivate and inspire each other. Because as young budding leaders, tomorrow we look at y'all as inspiring and motivating the next generation. So I hope that there is going to be learning through these programs and projects that y'all are going to be showcasing to our dignitaries today. But in that, there has been learning for yourselves as well. And when the judges ask you, you're able to talk and mention how these programs have helped you grow. And that is actually the TGELF mission, is to provide y'all with those learning experiences and opportunities which helps you become a better person, which helps you use those values and ethics to take on leadership wherever you are. So with that, thank you very much. Welcome here to Delhi. Welcome to Harmony and to TGELF. And a huge welcome and thank you to all our dignitaries and guests who have joined us today, because without y'all and without these kids, this event would not be possible. Good morning to everyone and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for those inspiring words and your evergreen smile. Thank you. We will now proceed to a moment of tradition and light, the lighting of the lamp, symbolizing knowledge, hope, and the beginning of today's celebration. I request our esteemed judges to please join us for the lamp lighting ceremony. Carry forward the spirit of today, we are honored to hear from a visionary, an educator, and a guiding force for countless young leaders. Please welcome Mrs. Gauri Ishwaran, Vice Chair of TGELF.
Good morning, everyone, especially all our youngsters. My first greeting is to you all and then to the adults, the dignitaries who have decided to join us here, but the most important people present here today are all you young students from the schools, because you are the future of the country. I have a question for you all. We've been talking about the word harmony. Can any of you define harmony in one word? Yes? Peace. A commodity that is largely missing from the world today. And you may be wondering that when you have come for a business leader competition and a youth leader competition, why am I talking about harmony and peace? Because the tagline for our competition, Harmony, is co-creating tomorrow. There will be no tomorrow if we do not have peace. So when you all work on all your entrepreneurial projects, keep in mind that they should be something that will help, that will ease, and that will add comfort to the humanity, to people in the world. This is not just a competition for you all to do something and whether I come first or whether I come second. This is not the aim of this competition. Is not that. The aim of this competition is to make you all aware of the issues that are facing the planet today, our own country, our own community, and how is it that we can help alleviate those problems. That is the fundamental premise and the reason behind our organizing these competitions. So don't let this be a one-off event that you all want to just win a prize. It should become a part of your DNA, a part of your innate approach to things. Remember also that the projects that you all have prepared and that you are presenting have a lot of potential. And I was delighted to hear from one of the judges today that some of our projects from the past have actually grown into successful startups. So all you young children, when you pitch to the judges today, don't just pitch your project, pitch to them to invest in your project. So when you are pitching, remember, you want all these gentlemen and ladies sitting here have the ability to invest in your projects. So see how much you can convince them that you are a viable project and they can invest. There have been projects from these competitions which have grown into startups and have actually made money for those young students. So keep that in mind, that this is not a one-off event. Don't look at it just as a competition that you want to win. Look at this as something, as a lifelong learning about how we are going to approach and deal with the problems in our planet today. And for anything to succeed in life, you need peace. Look at yourselves in your schools. Learning happens when your school environment is peaceful. Then it's conducive to your learning. It is conducive to your being happy there. So this is the same thing that happens in a broader picture on the planet, where there is peace, where there's understanding, where there's compassion, where there's empathy. Lot of good things happen. And so while you're preparing your projects, keep in mind it's the welfare of the planet, the welfare of the country, the welfare of your community that you're looking at. Which is why TGELF has two different competitions. One is, of course, the business project of the year. The other one is youth leader. The reason behind youth leader is to make young people aware of the societal and environmental issues that are facing our country. Whether it is garbage collection, whether it is clean water, whether it is access to clean air. These are all issues that we need to look at. And remember, young children, it is your world tomorrow. That's the world you are going to step out into when you finish your class 12. What kind of a world do you want to live in? Think about that. And if there is a world that you want to live in, then you have to work for it. It's something that you have to nurture and something that you have to think about. You have to innovate, you have to be creative, you have to solve problems. So, in a way, I feel sorry for you all also, because when I was growing up, we didn't have so many issues. So it was an easier life. It's not quite so easy as we look forward now. Another thing I would like to mention to you all is when you do these startups, when you do these projects, some succeed, some fail. But remember, failure is always a stepping stone to success. Should not allow failure to depress you all. And if there's anybody in this world who comes and tells you that I have never failed in my life, then they're not telling you the truth. Because all of us do fail at some stage or the other, in some sphere or the other. But the way to tackle such failure is to get up and move again. You know, life is full of challenges. Life is never smooth. Doesn't matter who you are. Challenges are always there. But the way to meet challenges is to get up and move again. I have had many challenges in my life as well. It's not that I haven't had. But what has really helped me is that every time I picked myself up and said, okay, let me go ahead. Remember, we cannot change the past. God knows what the future holds. But the present is with you. And make the best use of the present. And please come back again and again to take part in our harmony. To me, there are no winners here. You are all winners. There are no losers. So every team that I went around and saw yesterday, you children are just amazing. And every project was amazing. And so I don't know what the judges will decide. Luckily I'm not a judge. But I think you are all winners. So congratulations and a big round of applause for all our youngsters here. Thank you so much.
Mr. Anil Bharadwaj, Secretary General of Federation of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, to deliver the keynote address. With a master's degree in economics and international trade, Mr. Bharadwaj specializes in industrial and trade policy, SME regulations and market access issues in multilateral and regional trade negotiations. He has worked on numerous SME development projects with global agencies, including the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, UNDP, ITC, the EU, and many more. An active writer, he has authored several guides for the small and medium enterprises. He has served on EDII's governing board and currently sits on the Uttar Pradesh Economic Advisory Group and chairs the ICSA Advisory Board in London. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good morning, namaskar. The stage is actually still vibrating with the sounds of Kathak, and I don't think there could be any better representation of harmony than the physical representation that we have just seen. So I think I should congratulate first of all to the organizers for choosing this theme, and also the dance performance before really we get onto the work. Friends, actually before coming here I was thinking that on which topic I should speak, and finally I decided that instead of giving you sermons, I would rather share 3 specific stories with you that also helped me find purpose in my life. It's almost 30 years now that I have been working with industry associations, and in my career I have worked with a very large number of entrepreneurs, and I'm in the midst of the entrepreneurial energy today, and I feel very fortunate to be here. The first is actually a story I picked from Bharat Ek Khoj. Some of you might have heard about this. And they in turn had picked it up from our Shastras. And the story goes like this, the old king dies, and the adopted son of the king goes for the final cremation. And as you know, we have a system of Pinddan, and he goes for Pindan near the river, and the moment he offers the morsel to the river, instead of one, 3 hands spring up from the river bed. He was terrified. He comes back. He asks his ministers and advisors that what is the meaning of this? Ideally, only 1 hand should have come of my father. It's a long and winding story. To cut short, the gist of the story is this: that the prince, the adopted son, could be said to have 3 fathers. One, of course, the one who raised him, adopted and raised him, and he became a prince. The second is the biological father. And third, the person who had met his mother, and under a vow, a promise had been extracted that if you bear a son, then the son will take my revenge and circumstances will conspire and that he will become a king. But ultimately, out of the prince, and then now he was on the verge of becoming the king. As we know in our tradition, it is always the person who raises is considered to have the larger weight. We already have seen in the case of Krishna, so it is the Nand and the Yashoda, not the mother who has born Krishna, that ultimately are considered and revered here in India. But interestingly, in this story, what is said is that it is not the person who has raised the person, the boy, that he would be father, nor is the one who could be legally considered as father, as biological father, but it is the person who was the cause of the birth, who had given the person the purpose of his life, the purpose of his being. It was an extraordinary story in one sense. And actually, the purpose of the whole story was that how, if you have the purpose in life, it can determine the course of your life, or it can shape up the course of your life. Well, you would say that, Mr. Bhardwaj, it is easy to say in theory that, or in stories, that to have the purpose and the purpose will determine the life. But how do we identify that what is the purpose of my life? Here, recently I came across, a couple of years ago, I came across a very interesting story from Barack Obama. Barack Obama wrote a book called Audacity of Hope. Many of you might have heard about this book. It's a fantastic book. If you have time, go read that book. Very inspiring book. So he was working in the primaries in the election, in run-up to Al Gore's election as US President, and he was not even fighting. And he was sharing his experience. He said that while writing this book, he picked up this title of the book from the pastor, or the lecture of the pastor who was giving the sermon in one of the churches there. And it goes like this, listen carefully. It says that it is easy to be cynic in today's world. It is easy to be cynic. We get up in the morning, we open the newspaper, we switch on the TV, look at our profiles, or you can say our social media, and then what is the news? The news is of strife, conflicts, murder, and all those kind of negative things. And eventually it has an effect on us, and we decide, or we think that in larger scheme of things we are too small to make a difference in this whole world. And we tend to be cynic and say that, okay, we retreat to our private quarters, we focus on ourselves or our personal needs, maybe of our family needs, and that's it. But the pastor said that what it requires is to have bones, to have audacity of hope, and to have a belief in yourself that by using your ingenuity, your imagination, your knowledge to change the world, to make it little bit better, little bit fairer, little bit more equitable than the world that you had inherited. And he says that this approach was found fantastic by Obama. And he says that this particular approach changed my life. That instead of retreating in my quarters, private quarters, it encourages you to look at the problems squarely and try to make a change in this world. And third story that I would like to share with you is, once we have this idea of this leading a purposeful life, and I go back to Gita. The context is well known to everybody here in India. So we have Arjuna confused that what to do in life, and Kurukshetra battle is on, and Krishna is giving the lecture in the form of Gita, the sermon of Gita. And after hearing everything, finally Krishna says that, Lord, you confused me. You say that there is no getting away with karm phal, krat pranash, as they say. There is no getting away with karm phal. Whatever you do, ultimately you have to, you will be bound by the results, and then it would be a cycle. So you do karma and then phal, and then a karma and then phal, and ultimately you are getting into an endless cycle of birth and death and birth and death. So what is the way out? And what Krishna says is very important. What he says is that the only way to get out of this cycle is that anything that you do for larger public good does not bind you. That liberates you. So if you have a purposeful life, if you choose a purpose which is for the benefit of the larger good, then you are liberated. And then you lead a purposeful life, peaceful life, meaningful life, and I think is a life worth living. So these were the short 3 stories that I wanted to share with you. I am not standing between your pitches and between the judges. I would like to congratulate you to those in advance who are going to be the winners, with a caution that early success is actually an enemy of sustainable success. And those who do not make it to this round or next round, I would like to say that every failure in the initial step actually is a step for inspiration, and I think that should encourage you do even more and go for sustainable success. With this, I conclude, and thank you very much for inviting me.